Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Blue Otter League Master Division 4 Death Cards versus Bing Chillers here in week 4 of competition. Super happy to be back here on BOL, and I'm with a very special guest here on Color as well. Go for Eno. How you feeling today?
Uh, Pretty fine. It was a nice day outside. We have gone through the picks and we've gone through the first band's phase so far. A lot of familiar faces on the ban board, except for that Akshan. Definitely a bit of a target ban here against the Bing Chillers, but that does leave the Senna open. Bing Chiller is going to be responding here quickly with the Rel. I'm curious to see what else they lock in here, Yarko, since they do have some options.
Yeah, not really sure what the meta has settled into as I kind of stopped playing League of Legends, but I am interested as to why we're seeing stuff like the Kog'Maw being picked early by Bing Chillers. This could be an exciting one for sure. Is that still Rungle or is that no longer viable?
Uh, so fun fact, there actually were PBE changes today that completely deleted Rungle. Just removed
No!
all her bonus damage to monsters because yeah, it's kind of a problem in pro, but still in this patch, it is a flex pick here, so it could be going in the bot lane, could be going in that jungle. That is a strong flex. Azir, the bug has been fixed, so it looks like the bird is back on the rift here. I'm curious to see what the direction the Senna Nautilus lane is going to be, because we have seen the carry Sennas in the bot lane with the Nautilus and the fasting Sennas with the Nautilus in the bot lane. I'm guessing after the nerfs, it's going to be more so that fasting Senna, and just let the Nautilus farm on up here. So Death Card's already got some strong scaling here.
Yeah, that being said, playing Nautilus when you have to farm up against Poke from the likes of Kog'Maw could be a little bit difficult, so interested to see how this comes to be. I studied this matchup a little bit earlier on in my time when I actually played League, especially when Nautilus mid and stuff was viable. I was really trying to make it work with Fasting Senna. Happy to see that it is, in fact, something that people can do. Being Chiller's now going to grab up that Jarvan to round out the first 3 picks on either side.
Yep. So that is going to kind of show that it is the Rel bot lane. Although technically there is a Dark Tech Full Shield J4 top build you can go. That is much more a solo queue thing, and I highly doubt we're going to see it here today. But it is something that is technically on the table. However, though, the Rel with the Kog'Maw in the bot lane is interesting. You don't typically see the Kog'Maw with the hard engage. Everybody knows about Protect the Kog'Maw, even though that is a little bit in the past now. You still typically see the Kog'Maw with the Enchanters in the bot lane, so strong engage already coming up from the Bing Chillers, and I'm expecting them to have another threat here picked in with their composition, because you don't want to have all your eggs in the Kog'Maw basket when there is the Dredge line coming out from the Nautilus.
Yeah, you've built the ramp. Now you need the payoff alongside that Kog'Maw. What else is going to be there for Bing Chillers in order to jam in that later part of the game? Out of the ban phase, we got a Poppy and Ornn denial coming out of Red Squad, as now Death Cards are going to knock out a Shen. So still a lot of focus on that part of the map. So Void and Corndog are going to have those pools pinched a little bit.
And we'll see what the R4 is here. You're gonna have to reveal one of your solo laners. Usually it is the mid lane, and considering you see the Azir locked in on the enemy team, it should be the mid lane here, unless you're really worried about the top lane pool, considering it has been decently pinched here. It has 3 to 4 bans thrown at it, depending on how you want to see the Poppy, since the Poppy jungle is a strong counter to the J4. But that aside, I'm expecting a mid laner to be locked in here. With Carmen Ari off the table, makes me wonder what they're going to go for. The Vigar, interesting, has been picked into the Azir before because he can match the range with the cage, and if you trap the Azir in the cage, pretty easy to burst down that bird.
Yeah, bird caging, definitely something that has been used for centuries in order to keep those kinds of animals in line. Briar going to be hovered by SDC here on blue side. I don't know if this is something that's viable right now, but I do very much enjoy watching Briar. Really can be a terror, can snowball really hard, but we are just going to swap off of it, go for the Talia at the end of the day, which, as my favorite champion, is also not something I'm too sad about seeing.
Yeah, I doubt we really see the Briar come out unless she is really overtuned. And even when she was overtuned, I mean, she got kind of nerfed before the Pro split started. But even then, it's kind of hard to make her kit work in Pro, I feel. The Talia is going to mean you have a very AP heavy mid jungle duo. And you kind of want a frontliner in the top here or some sort of bruiser, the Scion locked in. So very magic damage heavy composition coming out from the death cards right now. Yes, the Senna will give you a nice little bit of oomph of physical damage, but not going to be the primo damage dealer on this team, which might be a small issue here if that Senna does fall behind and the Bing Chillers are able to pick up some extra magic resist. That could slightly hamper things later on.
Especially if it's a fasting Senna, it's the kind of the case in those situations where your ability to grow as a champion, while still very, very strong, you can scale really hard. It's a bit more kind of tempered. Like you don't get the potential that you get out of a farming Senna to just suddenly accelerate to your win conditions. So death cards are gonna have to play patient, and that could be scary when you're up against stuff like the Vagar and Kog'Maw that can definitely match that Senna.
Yeah, and there isn't going to be too much patience here because the Kled was locked in for the top lane, so there definitely is going to be action on the top side here. You rarely ever see a very calm and collected Kled in lane. That's just kind of how the Champions kit works. So I'm expecting a lot of action to happen up there. And if this Kled gets rolling here for the Bing Chillers, Nyarko, it can snowball into the rest of the map because you just pop that charge. Very easy access to the mid lane. Hey, TP bot with that ultimate. Pretty easy access there too. Can cause a lot of havoc if left unchecked.
Yeah, definitely the case. I'm very interested in seeing these two comps come to light. There's a few picks that I'm kind of surprised are playable right now, but I'm happy to see them. You know, Kog'Maw in particular is going to be something I'm keeping an eye on because there is just so much potential for the death cards to run over this lane with the Senna Nautilus. I really want to see good positioning out of Bing Chillers to make a statement here. And beyond that, I need them to be able to leverage the early impact of the Jarvan to actually make sure that Vagar and Kog'Maw are on the right track, because otherwise you just constantly push your timeline back. And we've seen many games throughout BOL and so many other leagues at this level of play where you just don't get to see these hyperscalers get online.
Yeah, and thankfully for Kog'Maw, at least you can hit your strides pretty early on about an item. I'm assuming it's still the Blade of the Rune King rush. It might be the Ginsu's rush. I don't know. Kog'Maw builds can be a little bit all over. Expect a bunch of attack speed in there. Either way, though, yeah, you don't want this backline getting overrun because the rest of the Bing Chillers comp, I mean, Rel, J4, Kled, those are all champions that are going in and is going to leave not a lot of protection here in the backline for the Vygar plus Kog'Maw, which might be a little bit sus if there happens to be a well-placed Shrema Shuffle, well-placed Dredge line, or just a Cyan crashing into your backline.
Yeah, we are looking at a front to back where Bing Chillers has to be very, very sure that their front is engaging the entirety of the death cards. Otherwise, exactly what you're kind of aligning here is going to come to play. I think that in general, though, I like the way that the composition has been positioned. I love these kind of ramp style comps where you have stuff that can do things early. And hey, if they become the carries of the game by getting super fed, that's cool. But if you can funnel some of that income into stuff like the Kog'Maw or Vagar, you're also set for the late game. And while death cards have a lot of individually powerful champions, this is also a composition that I'm a little bit afraid could just get completely isolated by the likes of a Jarvan during a fight, and nobody except for the Scion is super sturdy and will be able to sustain the long-term damage that things like the Vagar pumps out.
Yeah, it can be a bit of an issue here. If it's farming Nautilus, though, then farming Nautilus can get very stocky, since you do just build full tank. There was actually an NRG game a few weeks ago where it was literally an unkillable Nautilus who just had like 6k HP and just constantly was popping 1k HP shields. So definitely a possibility here if we see that get rolling. So you do have a little bit of extra beef if it is the fasting Senna, of course, which I'm kind of expecting since they nerfed the farming Senna with the soul drop rate last patch.
Yeah, nothing too wild in regards to what we're seeing out of the client draft right now. Everybody's going in their intended stations. It's got Scion topside for Corn Dog. And then we got 2004 Alexis GX470, which is going to be a delight to say during the game, jamming that Talia jungle up against the Jarvan. It's crazy how, for as much as we've done things to this champion to try to keep them viable mid, they constantly slide back towards that jungle role. I'm not salty at all. Yes, I am. They need to revert this champion, please. I hate the mid scope so much.
The good news is, I mean, Talia's viable-ish in mid lane, like not a premier mid laner. And we have seen the flex actually in pro play between mid and jungle, but jungle a little bit more dominant. It ebbs and flows, but yeah, it is a little wacky. But hey, as long as both are viable, I'm happy.
No. You see, the problem here is that Talia's not viable as support anymore. That's what I'm complaining about here.
Lamau.
All right. Well, no. Say your piece. You know, I'm happy to take the Talia debate.
No. That's all good. It's all good. We can save it for end game.
All right, it sounds good. Everybody is getting ready to go dive into this game number 1 of this best of 3 series. But between death cards and Bing chillers. Super happy to be back here on Blue Otter League. Make sure that you guys go check out our sponsor, Coachify GG, one of the premier platforms for coaches to connect with clients. So make sure that you're a part of that. I'll see you guys on the other side of this break.
Awake to my voice and hear the call within. Embrace the fear inside. Surrender your mind to mine again. Close your eyes, have faith in me, and leave the light behind. You're never alone. Whenever it's gone, let the shadows take hold. You're never alone. Let the poison in. Feel the warmth arise. Close your eyes, have faith in me, and leave the light behind. You're never alone. Whenever it's gone, let the shadows take hold. You're never alone.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Blue Otter League's Master Division for Death Cards versus Bean Chillers, game number 1 here in week 4 of competition. Very excited for this one. It's good to be back in League of Legends, if just as an observer, not as a player, at least for myself. Go for Eno. What are you expecting out of this game?
Like I mentioned, Champion Select a lot of action top lane. Void even taking Flash Ignite as the Kled here, so that signals there's going to be something happening here in the top side. Also, quick shout outs to the Nameless Org for the raid. Howdy ho. This is week number 4 of Blue Water Masters League, and we're just starting off today. It's game number 1.
Yep, right at the start of the stream, so that's very nice to see. Looks like we're going to be seeing opposite side starts for the Talia and the Jarvan. So Sion going to spend some time leashing here, which makes a lot of sense. Void, I think, is just going to go take a peek-see, make sure that this is in fact the case here. So that could be a bit of hidden knowledge that could benefit Bing Chillers in the long run, although I think it is probably pretty apparent that Jarvan wants to start on the bot side. Not much of a leash, though, coming out of the Rel and Kog'Maw. So make that what you will. Already some interaction in the lane, playing off of the range that Zoronos is able to exert. So we're going to see whether or not Bongsang goes dangerously low, and if we could see this Nautilus do anything about that. But what are some other dynamics that you're really looking for besides just that top side of the map here?
What the junglers do, I mean, you touched on Champion Select here. Younglin as the J4 can make a lot happen early. That is just the nature of the flag and drag combo. Good luck for an early gank mid or bot lane for Bing Chillers. Getting a little feisty and pushing up a bit, and that mid lane here, Shredman as the Azir pushed a decent far way on up as the Azir, going to be warding those chickens there. So Younglin just does a standard full clear here, will be spotted out. Bing Chillers will know where exactly the J4 is.
Yeah, Demo just kind of let that happen. Was just trying to respect the level 1 out of the Azir from Shredman. As you can see, everybody has their pots about them, has their health about them, so this wasn't like a bad trade or anything like that. It's just also the looming threat of Younglin is going to be a valuable tool for this Veigar to stay safe here up against the likes of 2004 Lexus GX 470. Top side of the map, we're already seeing this Sion taking a few hits versus Void, but it's quite back and forth at this point in time. Kled at this point with that bear trap on a rope has really good range, but we see the classic trade right back. Corndog able to charge up that Q to get a good knock up, a little bit of damage, but the wave is very much in the Kled's favor right now.
I'll see if Void wants to go for an early back after this wave. They definitely could since it's crashing. Granted, you know that 2004 Lexus GX 470 is on the bot side of the map right now, so not in any real danger of getting ganked here unless that Talia did some really, really wacky pathing, but that would take a huge toll on their jungle here, so definitely not happening there. It looks like Void just more than happy to stay here, wait for their next back, but right now 2004 Lexus GX 470 hovering in this bot lane tribe rush, or top bot lane top, I don't know what they call that. On the top side. All of that
We gotta make new terms. That's the worst part of this rework. Shredman gonna be put into the bird cage, forced to flash out away from the flag and drag. Good on Younglin, peeking in from those bushes there. It's a little bit harder to gank now because of the map changes. I think those bushes are pushed a little bit further back, and Shredman has got to be happy about that. Otherwise, I think Demo would have gotten an easy kill here early, and that Veigar starting to snowball can be a huge threat against Death Card's late game.
Yeah, because the Azir, you can't really outrange the Veigar in the mid lane. Except for the max range of your soldiers, I think. I think there you're relatively safe from the Event Horizon gauge. But other than that, yeah, you do have to walk up, and if that Veigar's snowballing and can just one-tap you over and over whenever that Primordial Burst ultimate is off cooldown, that does not bode well for the scaling.
Ooh. Oreo Murderer not able to get anything off that crash down. Hero going to answer back with a Q of their own as Zoronos providing poke all the way back out as Rel waddles away in that crash down form. Certainly not the best trade to get out of Red Squad here. Bing Chillers needs to, I think, keep their wits about them because the explosive combination of Hero going in off of that dredge line could just spell disaster for either the Rel or the Kog'Maw, frankly.
Yep. Although Oreo Murderer will definitely have a much easier time getting out of that one. That so happens. We see the very classic season 2024, not season 14, move of one team grabs Grubs on top side, the other team just grabs Dragon on bot side here. Just a little bit of right now power while the plates are still up, versus the extra scaling power that this Infernal Dragon will give you over the course of the game.
And so why do we not call this season 14? Is there some kind of stated reason from Riot? Because I know these changed back in like, what, 2020 at this point?
Yeah, they changed it in 2020. Oh, charge coming out. Cage misses.
Ooh, and there we see Demo using that speed up to get right on top of the Talia, and Void is going to approach from the other side of Tribush. Even if this Veigar gets chased off, this could still be an angle. Good little W. Boop is going to knock Void away. Corndog is here now to join in on the fight, but Lexus GX is going incredibly low, barely gets out of the way of the cage. A flash forward. Demo claiming first blood. It could turn into more as Oreo Murderer gets the flash Q. Shurima Shuffle to knock back the Rel will not also catch Younglin, which means that there's nowhere for Shredman to go from that burn flash from earlier. And while this happens, Scion passive is popped. It's a full cleanup. 3 members for nothing in favor of being chillers.
Ooh, it takes them a while, but you got first blood there. Another 2 kills under your pocket as well. Void scooping up the first blood for themselves there, I believe, or it might have been Demo there. I can't
Yeah,
quite
Demo
recall.
got the first blood, got a second kill as well on this Veigar. So this is a very scary champion.
Yeah, already has the components for their Luden's gun. I always forget the name of it. It's Luden's companion.
Yeah, I think so.
I just call it Luden's gun because it's a gun. And it's Luden's. I don't know why they changed it to a gun. It feels weird. Either way, though, explosive start here for the death cards off that one at play. We'll see if they can keep that momentum going. Because that's 2 kills on Veigar, who also has an Infernal Dragon in their pocket. Veigar loves Infernal Dragons because you just naturally get so much AP on them.
Yep, Lexus GX on a little bit of a lane gank and spank here. We're going to see whether or not that actually pays off. Bonsang has been already conditioned to play pretty passively in this one. They're going down CS versus a Nautilus of all things, but we do in fact see the approach. Hero trying to make something out of Lexus being in the lane for the time being, but Oreo Murderer and company are not willing to go in, even on something as juicy as an exposed Zoronos. So it doesn't really look like this is going to turn into too much for the jungle of death cards, and Younglin is now here on the counter gank as well.
Yeah, Younglin is spotting a ward, and you could have seen Shredman was already walking on down. The moves are being made here. They don't know this Talia is here.
Yep, big knockback. Oreo Murderer caught alongside Bongsang, and this might turn into a disaster for being chillers, as we do see the ultimate get dropped onto Bongsang. Younglin trying to get to safety. Oreo Murderer not so lucky, as now we do see the wall ride. We're going to see whether or not 2004 Lexus GX will be able to do anything off of this dive, but at half health, this is going to be dicey. Teleport from the sky. Demo wants to be down here to try to stabilize this fight. Younglin at just 100 health. Nautilus goes too deep, but the Zir does get the Kog'Maw on the back end of this one, and now Demo's getting poked down as well. Half health on multiple Blue Squad members as Oreo Murderer is back. Double crash down, double knock up. Younglin gonna approach once again. Flag and drag across the wall. Shredman, last one left alive for the death cards, and while they do have their ultimate available, Oreo Murderer will part the Red Sea, get on behind them. Demo worryingly low, will be traded back here, but Oreo Murderer gets the kill in the end. Being chillers with a hero play there to try to restabilize.
So bad news, Nyarko. Your spectate client's going fine, but Caddy's crashed here.
Oh no, mine is also crashed. I just got the very end of the fight there go for, but regardless, probably best we throw it over to a quick break, everybody. We'll see you guys on the other side. Are we good? In terms of being on break? Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Blue Otter League. Apologies for the technical issues. We're diving back into the game with about a minute skip from where we last were. 10 minutes into this one. Look at that kill count right now. Being Chillers able to bring back what was going to be a very worrying fight for them off of some really good positioning by 2004 Lexus GX, but overextension from Blue Squad meant that eventually the punishment did come through. Go for Eno. What is the current state of the game now?
Well, from what I can gather, pretty even, but I see there's 5 kills now here on Demo's Vigar, so that's a yikers.
Yeah, we do have some technical difficulties on the back end, but I do have faith that we're going to be able to work through this one without throwing it to another break. Yeah, for as much as we see that gold hovering only around 600 in favor of, I believe, Being Chillers, the fact of the matter is so much of that gold is concentrated on Demo that I really think that I'm pretty happy with Red Squad's current outlook on the game. I talked a little bit before in the draft about how much I like these kinds of ramp compositions where either your early game champions smash hard and they get tons of kills and they're just able to steamroll the game in 20 minutes, or they funnel the likes of Demo or Bonsing in this case, and we get a really, really strong Vagar that is already looking to dominate team fights. We've seen how good the space control off of Baby Cage can be.
And it definitely can be really good if you can get on top of this back line here, because Demo doesn't exactly want to walk through the Corndog Scion or the Herox.
I was saying Hero, but
Hero. Yeah,
Yeah.
Hero, Nautilus. I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce OUX. Like, there's a couple different ways to pronounce it, I think. I think it's French. I don't know.
yeah, I'm going with Henry Davis Thoreau or whatever.
Oh.
The guy that lived in the cabin, Walden. That guy.
Good news. We might have some more issues here. It looks like we stopped again. Getting word
Brutal.
from our producer. Yeah, you can see the timeline's not moving past 10:30 right now.
Yeah, this is a little bit unfortunate,
Yeah.
Speaking of the timeline not moving past 10:30, have you ever heard of that conspiracy theory that the Holy Roman Empire just invented a bunch of centuries?
I think I've heard something like that, yeah, because there are a couple of centuries where we're just missing a lot of information.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if they're like completely invented or if it's just like there's a random like leap in time when it came to just cataloging stuff. Because it's like
Yeah.
the first few hundred years, like between 100 and like 700, sometime between
Yeah,
there
it's something
and,
like that,
CE.
yeah.
Yeah, early timekeeping's weird. Plus, also they
For
weren't
sure.
using the same like Gregorian calendar we're using today, so
Yeah. When I was in grad school doing something slightly less valuable than casting League of Legends, I always had like the cold sweat fear of being like, actually, what if people just made stuff up and put them in the history books? We have no way to verify this anymore. Oh, we might be back here.
might be. It's going for now, but we're at 10 minutes and 10 seconds. We froze at 10:30 last time.
Ooh, we're
So let's see if
Groundhog
we hold out
Daying.
here. Revs are being taken though. That's gonna keep the death cards from being able to snag all 6 of those. They work for themselves here.
Getting up upon
Timeline
the reckoning time. Yeah, we're about to hit 10:30. Looks like we might. No, we can't pass over. It's actually a Groundhog Day scenario. Go for we have to perfectly cast these like 20 seconds, and we have to keep doing it over and over again until we do it exactly right, and then right game as God will be able to bring us to the next part of the game.
Hell yeah. Yeah, this is like the 5th or 6th like just game-breaking spectator bug this season, I think.
Fantastic.
I don't know what it is with this year. Maybe it's like the map changes or they change like some underlying code.
Yeah, either that or the house of cards that the code was initially based upon has finally broken and crumbled.
Yeah. But with that being said, we're going to cut it to hopefully a short break here while we try and get this figured out. We'll get in contact with you guys when we have an update on the situation. So don't go anywhere. Sit tight. We'll be back in a gamer minute.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Blue Otter League Masters Division as we are bringing you some somber news. Unfortunately, it looks like the Observer client is broken beyond belief, and unfortunately, that means it's not possible for us to bring to you guys the rest of the Death Cards versus Being Chillers matchup. Make sure that you keep an eye out on the Blue Otter League socials and Discord to see what the results of this match are going to be. But for right now, this is probably going to be us signing off. Go for, anything before we close it out.
Yeah, surely Riot won't have another game-breaking spectator bug for the 7th time this season, right?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it is unfortunate that things are turning out this way, but hey, I could keep my streak of not having casted a full League of Legends game up, which, has to count for something here. Well, with all that in mind, everybody, thank you guys so much for tuning in for the remnants of this BOL stream. Thank you to Caddy, as always, for being the producer, and we could not do this without you. So make sure to tune in next week for hopefully a little bit more Masters action that actually will get broadcast this time for here and now. Check out Coachify GG, and everybody, have a good night.